swing by. It's Franci here for Sunny Studio, and today we're going to make a fun welcome summer themed card using lots of the goodies from the new summer release. Let's start with the background. Here I have a panel of white cardstock and I'm inking it with the Twisted Citron Distress Inks Oxide. Then I'm taking one of the new Sunny Studio Clear Click blocks, which I love, and I'm stamping some of the leaves from the Radiant Plumeria set. I am using both solid and layering images here to build some dimension and interest onto my background, and I'm stamping them all with some Memento Dewdrop inks in the shades of Pear Tart, Bamboo Leaves, and New Sprout. I love creating my own backgrounds. It's so much fun, and it also gives a fun twist on how to use all your stamp sets. As I finished with all my stamping, I'm going to blend everything in by sponging some more Twisted Citron Distress Oxide ink on top, and I'm also darkening up all the edges with some crushed olive regular distress ink. This will make everything more cohesive and will also draw the attention to the center of the card. As you can see here, I'm going back and forth between my two inks, and that's completely fine. Always take your time to build your own perfect ink blended background. It takes time and patience. As everything looked fine to me, I kept all the colors onto my desk and added some little splatters. I just mushed my ink pads onto an old clear acrylic block, added some water and mixed. Then I went in with my little paintbrush and flick it carefully above my card panel. I noticed my splatters were very light, so I added some more made out of the first most distress ink. As I was happy with the result, I let everything here dry completely and moved on to my critters. Here I stamped some cuties from the Savannah Safari set, and I'm going to color them with Copics. As you can see, I stamped a bunch of critters, but I ended up using just the elephant and the giraffe on my card and saved the other for future projects. For my giraffe, I put down some E53 as my darker body shade, and I'm going to blend it with the E51. These shades are called Raw Silk and Milky White, and I love how soft but also rich and warm these result. They are my go-to whenever I need to color more kind of a brownish critters. Then for all hair spots, I'm going to use E37 and E35, and I gave her a little rosy cheek using the R32, the R20, and the R000 shades. When I was finished with my giraffe, I colored the elephant behind the camera because I'm such a little sloth at coloring and I was afraid you guys would have been bored at this point. By the way, I also cut them out off camera with the coordinated dies, and then I moved back to my card design. Oh, and by the way, I used some cold gray Copic shades as C2 and C0 for my elephant, and also the same pink combo for his rosy cheek. Back to my design, here I have another little white panel, and I'm stamping my sentiment from the Radiant Plumeria set here, with all the elements that are just temporarily put down so they can help me with the placement. I decided I wanted to add a little more something to my card, so here I stamped one of the new borders from the Tropical Scene set. I love this set so much. There is also an ocean themed one included, and I can't wait to use it onto another summer card soon. Of course, for today's card I choose the jungle themed one, and here we go again with some E53 and E51 to color it. I also added in some greens from the Y family, and I use YG63 and YG03 for the jungle lianas, and I'm aware this project is safari inspired, but jungle, forest, wood, this is card making, guys. It's magical, you can mix and match and it still would be perfect anyway. Here I'm just checking how it goes on my card, and that's when I decided to bring on my favorite green Copic. That's the YG95 Pale Olive one. It's not just a beautiful shade, but it also is the perfect match to the crushed olive distress ink that we have on the background, so it's a win-win. Once again, I blended out with the YG03 and then I glued my border down at the top of my white panel with some foam adhesive. I trimmed all the parts that were sticking out way to match with my scissors, and then I adhered my white panel to the center of my card with more foam adhesive. I just left some foliage onto the top left corner because I thought it was quite nice. Then I put more foam adhesive onto the back of my images and stick those down as well. I also stamped and die cut some solid images from the Savannah Safari set, and those will help me set in this little scene better. As you can see now, there are more elements like a tree and some bushes at my crew's feet. I added some details to all my images with a white gel pen and also some clear sequins behind the camera. Then my card needed some little hearts of course, so I stamped the biggest one from the Savannah Safari set a bunch of times with the Lanfan Guava ink. I cut them out and I glued them down. I mounted my decorated panel onto a matching standard size card base I made out of white cardstock, and this card is ready to be mailed. I am so happy about how it turned out and I hope you like it too. Be sure to check all the linked supplies in the video description down below and see you soon with another cute project. Bye!